You open WhatsApp. You see messages from your friends. Some are short, some are long. You start reading, and suddenly you think, I want to reply, but how can I write in English? You notice small words in the messages that you already know. You can understand most of what your friends say. You can also reply using simple sentences. You realize that chatting can be a way to practice English every day. You do not need long lessons or grammar books. Every message you read and write is a small step toward speaking English confidently. You can learn words, sentences, and tenses naturally. You can also ask questions and share your feelings. Today, we will see how simple WhatsApp chats can improve your reading, writing, and speaking skills step by step. Chapter 1. Chatting with Friends in English. You open your WhatsApp and see a message from your friend. The message says, "How are you today?" You read it slowly and think about your answer. You can write, "I am fine." "How are you?" Or "I am doing well, thank you." These are simple sentences. They are easy to write and easy to understand. When you chat with friends, you use words that you know. You do not need long or difficult words. You can say, "I like this song." Or "I saw a beautiful place today." Short sentences are enough for good conversations. Sometimes your friend may send a photo or a video. You can reply, "It looks amazing," or "I like it very much." You can also ask a question like, "Where is this place?" or "Who is in the video?" Questions help you continue the chat. They make the conversation interesting. You can also share your daily life in small messages. You write, "I ate a sandwich," or "I went to the market." When your friend replies, you read carefully. You can learn new words from their messages. For example, if they say, "I bought fresh fruits," you understand that fresh means new or good quality. Sometimes you remember past events. You can write, "Yesterday I watched a movie," or "Last week I met my cousin." You are using the past tense naturally. You do not need to study it separately. When you practice chatting, tenses become easy. You can also talk about the future. You write, "Tomorrow I will go to the park," or "I will call you in the evening." Using will for the future is simple in daily messages. You feel confident when you use it often. Do not worry about mistakes. If you write, "I go to market," your friend may understand you. Later, you learn the correct word. Went. Mistakes are part of learning. Every message you write helps you improve. You can also use simple words for feelings. You write, "I am happy," or "I am tired." Your friend understands you. They reply with friendly messages. You enjoy chatting in English. You feel more confident every day. By chatting regularly, you practice reading, writing, and thinking in English. You do not need a teacher all the time. WhatsApp messages become your small English class. You learn naturally, slowly, and happily. Chapter 2. Reading and Understanding Messages. You open WhatsApp and see many messages. Some are short, and some are long. You start reading slowly. You do not need to understand every word. You focus on the main idea. For example, if a friend writes, I went to the park today. It was very sunny. You understand that they went outside and enjoyed the weather. When you read messages, you notice words that you already know. Words like today, sunny, park, and went are easy. You can also guess the meaning of new words from the sentence. If the message says, I saw a butterfly in the garden, and you do not know butterfly, you see it is an animal or insect. You understand without translating. Sometimes messages have questions. Your friend may write, what are you doing now? You read carefully. You understand that your friend wants to know your activity. You think and reply. Reading questions helps you learn how to respond naturally. You also read stories and posts on WhatsApp. Some friends share pictures or short videos with text. You read captions like, Good morning. Have a nice day. You feel the meaning immediately. You do not need to memorize phrases. Daily reading makes you comfortable with English. When you read carefully, you notice tenses. If a message says, I went to the market yesterday, you see the past tense. If it says, I am cooking lunch now, you see the present tense. If it says, I will visit you tomorrow, you see the future tense. You learn all tenses naturally by reading many messages. Sometimes your friend uses emotions. They write, I am so happy today. Or I feel sad. You learn words for feelings. You start using them in your messages. You read, understand, and copy these sentences in your own style. You do not need to read everything at once. Reading a few messages every day is enough. You slowly build vocabulary. You also improve your thinking in English. When you read messages regularly, your mind starts recognizing patterns. You learn sentence structure and grammar without stress. Reading is not only about words. It is about understanding your friend. You feel connected. You understand their feelings, activities, and stories. Slowly, reading messages makes you confident. You start thinking, I can understand English. I can read and reply easily. By reading WhatsApp messages every day, you improve your English naturally. You read, you understand, and you enjoy learning. You do not even feel that you are studying. Chapter 3. Writing confidently in English. You open WhatsApp and want to write a message. Sometimes you feel nervous. You think, will I write correctly? Do not worry. Writing is like speaking. You start with simple sentences. You write, I am going to the shop. Or I like this song. These are small but correct sentences. You can also write about your day. For example, I woke up early today, or I had tea and bread. When you write about your routine, you practice past and present tenses naturally. You do not need a book. Every message becomes practice. Sometimes you want to tell a story. You write, yesterday I met my friend. We went to the park. It was fun. Short sentences are enough. Your message is clear and your friend understands easily. Writing stories helps you use new words and phrases. You can ask questions in your messages. For example, what are you doing now? Or will you come to my house tomorrow? Questions make your writing interactive. Your friend replies, and the conversation continues. Writing and reading together improve your confidence. You can also share feelings in writing. You write, I am happy today, or I feel tired. You can write about excitement too. I watched a good movie or I got a new book. When you express feelings, your writing becomes natural. You learn to use words for emotions correctly. Sometimes you make mistakes. You might write, I go yesterday to the market. It is okay. You can learn from mistakes. Later, you write, I went to the market yesterday. Every time you correct yourself, your writing becomes better. Mistakes are part of learning. You also learn new words while writing. If you see a word in a friend's message, you can use it in your reply. For example, if your friend writes, the cake is delicious, you can reply, yes, it is very delicious. Slowly, your vocabulary grows. And your sentences become longer and more interesting. You should write messages every day. Even a few sentences are enough. Daily practice makes writing easy. You feel confident to write in English without thinking too much. You notice that writing becomes natural, just like talking. By writing messages regularly, you improve grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. You learn to communicate clearly. Your English grows step by step. Every message you write brings more confidence. Chapter 4. Asking questions and keeping conversations alive. You are chatting with a friend on WhatsApp. Sometimes the conversation stops. You do not want that to happen. The best way to continue is by asking questions. Questions show interest. They make your friend feel important. You can start with simple questions. For example, how was your day? Or what did you eat today? These questions are easy and natural. You get answers, and the chat continues. You learn new words from their replies. You can ask about places too. If your friend shares a photo of a park or a restaurant, you write, where is this place? Or is it a good place to visit? Questions like these make your conversation lively. You also practice using words for locations, directions, and opinions. Sometimes you ask about feelings. You write, are you happy or why do you feel sad? Your friend explains, and you understand emotions better. Reading answers carefully teaches you new expressions. You can use them in your next messages. You can also ask about hobbies and interests. You write, which book are you reading? Or do you like playing football? When your friend replies, you get ideas for your own messages. You start asking more questions naturally. Do not be afraid of small mistakes. If you write what you did yesterday, your friend still understands you. Later, you learn the correct form. What did you do yesterday? Mistakes are part of learning. Every chat teaches you something new. You can ask follow-up questions. For example, your friend says, I went to the market. You can reply, what did you buy or who went with you? Follow-up questions make the conversation longer and more interesting. You also learn to connect sentences naturally. Sometimes, you can ask for advice or opinions. You write, which movie should I watch? Or can you suggest a good restaurant? Your friend shares ideas. And you practice reading and understanding English in real situations. By asking questions every day, you feel more confident. You learn to start and continue conversations. You notice that chatting in English becomes easier. You do not need to think too much. You just read, ask, and reply naturally. Asking questions is not only about words. It is about understanding people and their lives. When you ask, your friend talks more, and you learn more. You feel confident, and English becomes a natural part of your daily life. Chapter 5. Speaking English with Confidence. You have been chatting, reading, and writing in English for a while. Now it is time to speak. Speaking is different, but it can be easy if you practice. You start with small sentences. You say, "Hello, how are you?" Or "I like this song." These sentences are simple, but they give confidence. You can speak about your day. You say, "I woke up early today," or "I went to the market." When you speak about your routine, you use the present and past tense naturally. You do not need to think too much. Speaking regularly makes tenses easy. Sometimes you talk about your plans. You say, "Tomorrow I will visit my friend," or "I will cook lunch." Using will for the future becomes simple when you speak often. You feel confident as you use it correctly in real life. You can also share your feelings. You say, "I am happy today," or "I feel tired." Expressing emotions in English helps you connect with others. People understand you better. You also practice new words for feelings every day. Do not worry about mistakes. If you say, "I go yesterday to park," it is okay. You will learn the correct form later. "I went to the park yesterday." Mistakes are normal. Every time you speak, your English improves. You become more confident. You can ask questions when you speak. You say, "What are you doing?" or "Do you like this movie?" Questions help conversations grow. Your friend or listener replies. And you practice listening and speaking at the same time. You can practice speaking alone too. You say sentences out loud. "I am learning English," or "I like to read books." Your voice becomes clear, and your confidence grows. Speaking in front of a mirror also helps. You feel comfortable with your own words. Slowly, you start using new words and phrases from your chats. You say, "The food is delicious," or "The park is beautiful." Using these words in real conversation makes English natural. You do not memorize, you use what you know. By speaking English every day, you feel confident and ready. You notice that chatting, reading, writing, and asking questions helped you a lot. English is no longer difficult. You enjoy speaking, and people understand you easily. Speaking confidently is not about perfect grammar. It is about expressing yourself. Every conversation gives you practice. Every word you speak adds confidence. Step by step, English becomes your natural language.